All right, so in the eye you have 3 layers of tissue. So you have an outer white layer that's really hard, like plastic, called the sclera.
Sclera.
Oh, it's sclera, okay.
Sclera.
Sclera.
So when the sclera goes to the front of the eye, the part of the sclera in the front becomes transparent. This is called the cornea. Because the cornea is attached to the sclera. Now, underneath the sclera, you're going to have this layer that's black. This is called the choroid. See that?
Yeah.
That's the choroid. Now, in this one, it has the shiny part of the choroid. Humans don't have that.
Oh, okay. That like holographic, right?
Yeah. Right. Now, on the inside of the choroid, you're going to have this yellow tissue layer that got taken off here. You can still see it here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, that yellow inner layer is the retina. So the retina is the layer of the eye that has the photoreceptors that take images and light, convert it into electrical signals that the retina will pass through the optic disc right here into the optic nerve right here. You guys cut right through the optic nerve, right through the center of it, which is fine actually. This, I think, makes it easier for me to point. So this is the optic nerve. So you can see that the retina is attached to the optic nerve through that optic disc. Okay, and that's because part of the retina goes out there. Now that optic disc right there, because you got things moving in and out of the eyeball there, there's no room for photoreceptors there. So if you project an image right on that optic disc, it will disappear.
Oh, okay.
It's a blind spot. Yeah. Okay. Now, the choroid is going to have some important sort of branches in the front of the eye. So you can see this smooth black sort of semicircle here.
Yeah.
That's the iris. That's technically the colored portion of the eye, which you're looking at it from the back. Okay? So this is the iris. In the center of the iris, you have the hole, right? That's the pupil. Okay? Now, behind the iris, you don't see it too well on yours, but there's going to be a bunch of tiny bumps right here. Those tiny bumps are the ciliary bodies. And the ciliary bodies are going to attach to the lens. So the lens is going to go right there.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now the lens is going to separate the eye into a cavity in front of the lens and a cavity behind the lens. Okay. So the cavity in front of the lens is going to be between the cornea and the lens. This is called the anterior cavity. This cavity is filled with a fluid called aqueous humor.
Okay.
It's very watery. That's what leaked out when you first cut it open. Okay. Now this big giant space behind the lens is called the posterior cavity. And that's going to have a different fluid in it, a jelly-like fluid called vitreous humor. See how this is jelly-like? That's vitreous humor in the posterior cavity. Okay. Last thing, any of these muscles you see around the outside of the eye, those are extrinsic eye muscles. They move the eye up, down, left, right. Okay. And then the optic nerve, which you guys see a part of right there. You might be able to see more of it if you dissect it a little further. Oh no, never mind. It's over here too. So the rest of it is probably over here. Here it is.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
Any questions?